What's the creepiest thing your rich relatives tried to enforce? My grandfather's will required all grandchildren to breed with partners he selected from his genetically superior list to receive our $2 million inheritance. We also had to produce a child within 18 months or forfeit everything to cousins who succeeded. Grandpa Edmund wasn't just rich, he was obsessed with bloodlines. He always talked about getting the best breeding stock so that he could keep his bloodline pure. When he died, we thought his creepy eugenics talks would die with him. Wrong. The lawyer looked sick as he read the will. $30 million total, but each grandchild could only inherit by following the Edmund protocol. We had to marry and reproduce with someone from his pre-approved list within 18 months. The list had photos, genetic histories, fertility tests. All young women from pure European bloodlines he'd been tracking for years. My cousin Marcus had already complied, married a stranger named Helena from the list, had a baby in 13 months. He got his money but looked dead inside at family dinners. His wife never spoke. Failure to produce offspring forfeits your share to successful cousins, the lawyer continued. Family members will verify consummation monthly and document pregnancy progress. My stomach turned. The women on my list were aged 19 to 25, all blonde, all from specific families Grandpa had researched. Their photos looked like catalog models. Beside each photo were fertility charts, family medical histories going back generations, and breeding notes in Grandpa's handwriting. Mom took me aside after. Just do it, Daniel. Get the money and divorce later. Marcus did. Marcus looks like he wants to die, Mom. $2 million buys a lot of therapy. They'd already arranged my first meeting. Alice, 22, Danish ancestry. Excellent hip width for birthing. Her family needed money too. Grandpa had approached multiple desperate families with daughters, offering them $500,000 for participation. We met at a restaurant with both sets of parents present. Alice was beautiful, but terrified. Her hands shook as she showed me the contract she'd already signed. Monthly fertility treatments. Weekly documented intercourse. Pregnancy within 12 months, or her family paid penalties. I'm sorry, she whispered when our parents went to the bathroom. I have student loans. My dad's sick. I didn't have a choice. Neither did I. My sister was monitoring compliance, documenting our dates, our overnight visits. She'd installed cameras in my apartment to verify Alice stayed over. The family created a spreadsheet tracking Alice's ovulation cycles. 3 months in, no pregnancy. The pressure intensified. Grandpa's estate manager started sending fertility substances. Mom would call during our scheduled attempts, asking for updates. Alice cried every time. I started drinking heavily. Month 5. Alice missed her period. The family celebrated like we'd won the lottery. Mom threw a party, invited all the relatives to celebrate the future Edmund heir. Alice sat in the corner, hand on her still flat stomach, looking numb. That's when I found out about the Phase 2 requirements. Hidden in Grandpa's papers was the full protocol. The child would be raised in a specific school he'd founded, educated according to his principles. Blood tests every 6 months to track genetic expression. And if the child didn't meet certain markers by age 5, we'd lose the inheritance retroactively. Alice had a miscarriage at week 10. The family treated it like a business setback. Try again immediately, Mom said. Clock's ticking, but Alice was done. That night, she showed me her own research. 3 other women from the list had killed themselves after having babies under the protocol. The children were being raised in what was essentially a eugenics compound in Maine. Some had been taken from mothers who tried to leave. I won't do it again, Alice said. I can't. The family went ballistic. Threatened to sue Alice's family for breach of contract. When that didn't work, they tried to force us together, locking us in my apartment for a weekend. Alice fought back, scratching my uncle's face. They called her hysterical, unsuitable. Within a week, they'd moved on to the next woman on my list. Rebecca, 20, Estonian descent. This time, they didn't ask. They just showed up at my apartment with her and her parents. Documents already signed. Fertility treatments already started. They'd learned from Alice. This one was desperate enough to comply. But I was done. I packed a bag, withdrew my savings, and left. Forfeited the inheritance. Let my cousins fight over my share. The last I heard, 12 grandchildren had completed the protocol. 12 strangers married. 15 babies born into Grandpa's genetic experiment. Marcus finally snapped and tried to burn down the main compound. He's in prison now, and I live a peaceful life in Oregon.